Let's be real, California isn't exactly known as being the most affordable state. But don't let that make you give up on your California living dreams, because today we're going to go over the 5 most affordable cities in California. And yes, you heard me right, I used the word affordable because there actually are areas in California that are very similar or even lower cost of living than some of the national averages. So let's just jump straight into it. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to learn all about living in the Central Valley of California or just moving to California in general, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so you can be the first one updated. Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a realtor based out of Charlotte, California, and I get calls from people just like you every single day looking to make a move here to the Valley. So whether you're moving in 9 or 90 days, feel free to give me a call or book a Zoom meeting with me, and we can sit down and go over exactly what it is that you're looking for. So you may be wondering, how did I get these most affordable areas? And a lot of it is based off of niche.com. If you are looking to move to a certain area, I definitely recommend checking out this website because they have some really great ratings and go really deep into the area. They even have reviews from real people that have lived there for a very, very long time in each city. So how does niche.com get some of these ratings? They pull together a whole bunch of different factors based off of school ratings, the housing, how much housing is available, cost of living, average rent versus the average home price, and then compare this to the national average as well. So definitely go check all of this out. And I will say for today, these are the top 5 most affordable places in California. It will still have a letter grade a little bit lower. None of them have A grades because again, it's compared to the rest of the nation. So might be a little bit higher, but let's just jump straight into it. So today we're going to be going backwards. So the 5th most affordable city according to niche.com is Roseville, California. Now, if you're not familiar with Roseville and where it's at, it's really close to Sacramento. It's about 25 to 30 minutes outside of Sacramento. It's also about 2 hours from Lake Tahoe and 2 hours from the Bay Area. So it's very commuter friendly. So a lot of people choose to live in Roseville because it's much more affordable to live there and do work in Sacramento. I mean, Sacramento is California's capital, so there's a lot of opportunity there. Now, we also get commuters that go to the Bay Area because wages are just significantly higher there. But keep in mind, living in the Bay Area is extremely expensive, which is why a lot of people are choosing not to live there anymore. I'll give you a little bit more information about Roseville. It has a population of about 152,000. Now, you notice today, all of these rankings are cities. We're not talking about some of the small little suburbs or towns because there's a lot of them here, especially in the Central Valley. All of these are cities that actually have a decent size population. Now, overall, according to niche.com, Roseville actually is given an A- rating. And that's actually a really high rating. So that includes public schools, housing, whether it's good for families, if there's job opportunities, the nightlife, the diversity. It takes a whole bunch of things into account. But today we're primarily looking at affordability. So the overall cost of living in Roseville is given a C- rating. Now, once again, this is compared to the nation's average. So none of these cities we're looking at today are going to be A ratings. But compared to California, they are significantly cheaper. So to give you an idea of the cost of living in Roseville, if you're a family, I think this goes based off of a family of 4. To live comfortably in Roseville, you spend about $9,600 a month. I mean, yes, this is higher than the national average, but it is still lower than the California average. If you're a single person just living off of one income, then to be comfortably living there, it's said that you need about $5,800 a month. Now, this takes a lot of different factors into it, one being the median home value of $630,000. Now, if you are renting though, the median rent is around $2,100 a month. Now, the overall cost of living score, it is significantly higher than the nation's average. It's about 39% higher than the rest of the United States average. However, we're comparing to California, and compared to California, it's about 7.1% lower cost of living than the rest of all of California. Now, Roseville is a little bit more expensive, and I will say compared to if we were taking towns into consideration, there are some more affordable towns in surrounding nearby areas. These are big cities, and I don't personally live in Roseville, but I've heard that Roseville is actually a very, very nice place to live. It's kind of a suburban feel. There's a lot of newer developments. Shopping, the public school system has an A rating, so very high rating for public schools. Very suburban community feel. So this might be a good option for you if you're looking to move a little bit more than Northern California, closer to Sacramento. Now, coming in at number 4 most affordable city to live in California is Victorville. Now, I did want to clarify really quick. I did look into it just to see what niche.com considered a city, because like I know there are some towns that are more affordable than some of these, but a city is considered above 100,000 in population or more for niche.com. So Victorville fits this bill. If you're not familiar where it's located, it's closer to Southern California. It's kind of a high desert region. It's about an hour and a half northeast of Los Angeles and 45 minutes from San Bernardino. And it's right off the 15 freeway. So if you're looking to make a quick trip to Las Vegas, this is the one you're going to get on and head all the way there. So definitely more desert feel. This is, out of all the top 5, going to be the most southern of the 5. And I was actually surprised to see one of the top most affordable cities in California to be so close to Southern California. So Victorville's population is right under about 136,000, so hitting above that $100,000 mark. And according to niche.com, it overall receives a C- rating. Talking about for affordability, it's also given a C- for cost of living. So the median home price is around $342,500 in Victorville. That is significantly cheaper than a good majority of areas in California. So you're really close to Southern California, but you don't have that coastal price tag, because again, this is kind of more a deserty area. And median rent is around $1,500 to $1,600 a month. Again, significantly cheaper, and that's actually hovering pretty close to the national average for rent as well too. Now, if you are a family of 4, if you are looking to kind of live comfortably, the average amount spent every month by families is about $6,300 a month. Now, that is about 17% more expensive than the national average. But if you're a single person, you're looking to spend about $4,200 a month, which is 10.5% less expensive than national average. So it's kind of interesting to see how, if you're a family versus a single person, where it may or may not be more affordable for you to live. Now, overall, the cost of living score in Victorville is about 18% higher than the US average, but compared to California, it is 20.9% lower than the California average. So again, you're really close to Southern California, really close to beaches and a lot of things just going on, but you do not have that major price tag. And I think the biggest pro here is that around $340,000 median home price value, because just travel a couple more hours to Southern California, LA area, and you're gonna be paying double to triple that amount for a simple home. So this is a great option for people wanting to be in SoCal. Now, coming in at number 3, lowest cost of living here in California is Fresno. Now, Fresno is a pretty major city, and it's, I believe, the biggest city in all of the Central Valley. Now, if you're not familiar with the Central Valley, if you're looking at a map, is literally the center of California. And we're surrounded by all the mountains. So imagine a giant bowl, and that is how we're shaped. So the Central Valley does stretch for a few hours. Fresno is getting closer to Southern California, and it's about 2.5 to 3 hours from LA. Their population is around 543,600. So again, huge population. And this is a really major draw for a lot of people, because with that big of a population and being a much bigger city, there's a lot more job opportunities, and it's just a lot more diverse, more of an urban landscape, lots of local food, events, always something going on there. So even people that live really close to Fresno end up commuting there or just going there for entertainment. And this is, a pretty big win for the Central Valley. Now, overall on niche.com, Fresno's given a overall rating of B-, which is pretty good, saying public schools are about a B, jobs are C, nightlife B+. The scores are kind of a little bit all over the place. But looking at cost of living, it's given a C-. Now, the median home value in Fresno is $348,500, and the median rent is about $1,300 a month. So we have a lot of first-time home buyers looking to make a move here, or just people who are more budget conscious, like as you should be if you're buying a home. We totally understand it's tough to get into a home, and that's why a lot of people choose to go here, especially to areas in the valley, but specifically looking at Fresno. It's not often that we see a big city like Fresno also have lower, more affordable home prices at the same time, and more affordable rent as well too. So if you are a family, you're looking at spending around $5,700 a month to be comfortable. That's about 6% more expensive than the national average. But given that we're in California, 6% more genuinely really isn't that much. Now, if you are single, you're looking to spend about $3,500 a month, and that is 25.9% less expensive than the national average. Now, if you see here, there seems to be a trend that it's significantly cheaper in any of these cities to be a single person versus a family. And I don't know if that could just be contribution from all the other factors of cost of living, such as groceries, utilities bill. If you're by yourself, you're obviously spending a lot less. Now, overall, Fresno's score of cost of living is 103.7. So that means it is 3.7% higher than the national average to afford living in Fresno. However, compared to California, it's 30.8% lower than the California average. So this is a huge difference. If you want to move to Fresno, you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck, much bigger home, bigger lot size, just more space in general versus either the Bay Area or Southern California. All right, we're getting really close to number 1, but before we get there, we're at number 2, which is Bakersfield, California. Now, Bakersfield is getting closer to Southern California. It's in Kern County and has a population of around 408,300. So again, really, really big. Also one of the biggest cities within the Central Valley. It's about 2 hours north of Los Angeles, about an hour and a half to the Grapevine Tejon Pass, as well. It's just about 2 hours from the coast. If you want to go to probably Pismo Beach is one of the main draws there. So it is a big city, but it's overall ranked as kind of a smaller town feel. And it's a top spot for people relocating from LA or like the inland area. Now, according to niche.com, Bakersfield is given an overall rating of C+. Their public schools are B-, housing the C-. But what we're mostly looking at today, cost of living, is given a C- as well too. So the median home value in Bakersfield, California is around $347,000, with the median rent ranging from about $1,300 to $1,400 a month. Now, how does this stack up to the rest of the nation? If you are a family, probably around a family of 4, then you're looking at spending about $5,500 to $5,600 a month in order to be comfortable to support your family. Now, this is about 3.3% more expensive than the national average. If you are a single person, then you're looking to spend about $3,500 a month, and this is 25.9% less expensive than the national average. So we seem to see here a lot of these cities are ranked really high up if you are a single person only supporting yourself with no dependents. Now, overall ranking, it's given a 99.8, meaning that it is 0.2% lower and less expensive than the national average. That's actually insane. It does not sound like a lot, but when we're looking at California, which is known as one of the most expensive states, for it to be 0.2% less expensive than the average to live here, that's very impressive. Now, stacked up against California, it's 33.4% lower than the California average. So overall, Bakersfield is a really great spot if you're looking for more affordability. Finally, we're at number 1, and you've been waiting to hear about it. But first, make sure you hit subscribe so you can follow along and hear about more affordable places to live and figure out where you might relocate in the Central Valley. But what you've been waiting for, number 1, is Visalia, California. This is a big one for the Central Valley, and it is no surprise to me that the most affordable city in all of California is in the Central Valley. It's located in Tulare County. It's about 40 minutes south of Fresno, about an hour and a half north of Bakersfield, and it's pretty close to some national parks. So a major one is Sequoia National Park, and that's only about an hour away. The population here is around 142,600 people, and it's a very much so agricultural hub. Has a nice downtown, like I mentioned, very easy access to some outdoor adventures if you enjoy hiking or walking trails, things like this. We're really close to the Sierra Nevada there. So this is a fantastic option if you want to go find something that's more affordable, but also you're not giving up all of the amenities. It's not like you're living in the middle of nowhere. You're really close to Fresno, which is a major hub. Overall, Visalia is given a B- rating just for living there. Public schools are a B+, diversity is an A, nightlife a B, housing a C. But most importantly, as we're talking about today, is cost of living, which is given a C rating. So that's the best rating we've had today. Now you'll notice as I go through these numbers, it's actually very comparable to the number 2 spot of Bakersfield, but it's just slightly a bit more affordable to live here. So the median home value is about $340,000, and the median rent is about $1,400 a month. So please just go look up the average cost of living in the Bay Area or Southern California if you're close to these coastal areas, and you're going to see such a huge difference. You'll never find a house there for $340,000 unless it's probably a shack or needs a ton of work. Now, if you are a family, you're looking at spending about $5,600 a month, which is similar to Bakersfield, about 3.3% more expensive than the national average. And if you're a single person, you'll be spending about $3,000 a month, and that's 35.7% lower than the national average. Now, overall, it's 0.4% more affordable here than the overall national average. And compared to California, it's 33.6% lower than living in most areas of California. So overall, Visalia is a fantastic option. Like I mentioned, it's so close to a lot of major areas. If you want to get to Southern California, you're not that far. If you want to go to the beach, you want to go to the mountains, that's what's so great about living in the Central Valley. Any of the cities in the Central Valley, it's really conveniently located. You can go to anything you want within just a couple hours. So if you are planning on moving to California or relocating within California, you might want to consider some of these 5 cities. Now, keep in mind, feel free to contact me because there are some areas that are even a little bit more affordable because they're considered towns. But if you want to be in major hubs that have good job opportunities and close proximity to other major locations and destinations, then these are going to be the top 5 cities for you. If you are thinking of moving here, feel free to book a Zoom call or give me a call, send me a text. I'd be happy to sit down to go over everything with you. Until next time, I hope to show you around the valley.